Hello and welcome back to EPIC48. EPIC48. It is the upper bracket finals.
Same as.
I'm Exo.
And
I don't want to be.
Just currently getting the players into the
Yes,
lobby,
yeah.
getting set up, getting ready to go.
Alrighty, both the players are ready. We're going to go straight into this. The first map is going to be at Eternity. This is going to be another best of 5, another PvZ. And, well, I was hoping up the last PvZ that like, it could be close, and it wasn't. But let's have a look at this one. We do have PtitDrogo, an old legend, versus Fjant, the young up-and-coming. I believe he's only 19 years old now.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because I swear I heard about him like 5 years ago. And I thought he was like 19 then, but no,
He
he's...
must have been about 14, right?
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah. Pretty sure I must have beaten him when he was about 14.
Yeah,
When he was down in the depths with those plebs, and then he rose up.
the
Ascended.
age-old classic of beating the players before they get... beating the children before they get good.
Beating the kids before they grow up.
Well, that is this man spawning in the bottom right. Representing Team Roddy, it is Fjant. I love the Team Roddy's logo.
And spawning up into the top left-hand side. We're in the red. It is PtitDrogo.
So, did you catch the last series? I don't know if you were actually able to watch it.
Yeah, I saw bits and bobs of it. I had the stream up while I was
Okay.
either playing Hearthstone or Starcraft.
Yeah.
Flitting between the two. Yeah, we're pretty decisive. Like Drogo was making use of the new Colossus.
Yeah, which was a very interesting kind of set of things to do. But it looked really solid, right? Like he's got
such good control, doesn't he?
Yeah, secured a third base with Oracles, secured a fourth base with Colossus and Oracles, and then had kind of just like could make it like a really solid late mid game army before the Zerg got to that impenetrable level of Hydra Lurker Viper sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like they had some Hydra Lurker Viper, but it wasn't like that stupid level, and he just had these really decisive times to attack. I really enjoyed watching that. Again, it'll be interesting to see if we have another similar set, or whether Fjant is able to, turn it around.
So yeah, well, we're seeing fairly standard openings. I think Drogo will be Drogo's got one gas already, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Right, he's not gone gasless. Okay. Interesting. I don't know. I didn't see the openings in the other games. I wasn't paying attention, so maybe he's been playing gas the whole time.
I think he has, but I'm not 100% sure. That shows how much attention I was paying.
Yeah. Well, it's obviously playing gasless helps you get to like a mineral account that's much more familiar.
Yes.
With the old economy much quicker, but obviously you're gas starved. You're like scraping by to get like an adept out immediately. So
yeah, he's been putting the Stargate down at like around 2 minutes 50. So we'll see if it lines up with this gas timing.
Okay.
Because that's obviously about 40 odd seconds later than it was on the old patch, but it's not an extreme amount later.
Yeah, and then obviously you got the block off on Fjant's side, so Fjant was forced to make his natural where you'd prefer to make your third base. So it's a small little victory for Drogo to start the game, but other than that, fairly standard on the Zerg side of the map.
Yeah, and this seems really meta now. Like every Protoss is doing this at every map.
I think the reason for that is that you really do need to scout off pylon rather than gateway, because you have to get a read on whether it's going to be like an 8 pool.
Yes, yeah.
If it's a super early pool, obviously the reaction's totally different now. You no longer can just survive with just units. I saw Drogo's reaction to it before, and obviously the links turn up before there's a unit out, so you have to pull probes to the low ground. So
yeah.
So I think that shake up in the meta means that you're going to be there anyway to scout the pool timing. You may as well be blocking too.
Yeah, and now we pass out for the probe for the Adept. The Adept's going to take over the scouting information and see what he can do. It is that Stargate on the way, as we mentioned. And will most likely be an Oracle coming out of that.
I'd expect so. Obviously, if you go Void Ray first, it's a bit ropey dealing with multiple links. They don't kill the links quick enough. And if you're trying to secure a third base, which I assume Drogo is going to do off the back of this, then you want to be able to like deflect the links away without having the risk of having your third base wrapped. So
yeah. Now, if I was Fjant, I would have been watching that past series and looking for kind of like the habits and the things for it, because I do think there's a window where. I mean, I think he would have already had to make the lings for it. But I think there's a window where the first Oracle pops out and the third is started, but there's nothing there to defend it. But
yeah, that sounds about right, yeah. Especially if you're going to be on the map with the Adepts, and it looks like he is going to lose both of these Adepts. Yeah, the second one does go down.
Excellent control there from Fjant to get the wrap there.
Yeah, 100%. That was really good. He knew he was getting the first one. His immediate focus was I can get the second one, so if I control properly.
You love to see it. We do see an Oracle hanging around the front.
Yeah, this will make taking the third base slightly more awkward.
Yeah, you can see he hasn't actually moved out for it yet. And
Yeah, he probably feels like he might need to wait for warp tech and then warp in a couple of adepts to do it.
yeah, or even just the second Oracle has just popped out. If Watt can stay at home to defend it whilst the other one goes across the map. But he does like to take both of them out and go across the map. This is the very old sort of style of how Protoss used to do this, where the first 2 Oracles would go across.
Yeah, I feel you could get meta-gamed in that regard. I mean, I
Yeah.
think up until a point, you really do need the Oracles at home for the DPS to save your base. And he realizes that, he's seen the Lings who do it, so he has pulled the Oracles across.
Yeah, minimum actual hull damage done to the Nexus there, if any. Oh, but he turned the beam off straight away.
Yeah.
And now you have this very awkward position where you don't want to turn the beam back on, but you you have to.
Yeah, you have to do it individually. Definitely don't turn it back on both of them at once. It's obviously a rookie error that I don't think Drogo can make. And there's another overcharge available, so he's got plenty of energy now, so deflecting the rest of these things should be trivial as long as he actually turns back around, or is he just going to go for it?
I'd say, yeah.
He's going to lose the base if he doesn't turn around. He has turned around.
Yeah, I saw it on the minimap, but he went further out than I expected.
Yeah, I mean, usually his Oracle control's really, really crisp, and I feel like he's floundering a bit.
Yeah, I mean, Fjant's making a meal out of just a handful of Lings and denying the third, or at least causing an issue.
No, Drogo's not dealing with the Lings as efficiently as he could, but obviously it's a small skirmish, and there's not really any realistic possibility he gets the Nexus.
Yeah, on the grand scheme of things, it's nothing too extreme. We do have an Overlord coming in here, and Scout is going to see the Twilight Council and the I said Twilight Council Forge in the gateway. I assumed this was the Twilight.
Has he got a gateway in the wall as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to 3-gate, a robo. Just getting out an observer so he can get some better information from the other side of the map if he gets zoned out by Queens and Spores.
Yep.
And the Lair's about to finish off with the Zerg, so we should see what tech path the Zerg's going to go down.
Yeah, we didn't highlight in the last game, but every game in the last series, he had really good. Nice control here. He had really good observer positioning to like see when the rally of units was coming out, but it never got caught by anything. We do have more Lings coming in here, but it's not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, we got a battery and a few gateway units. That's usually enough unless they really, really hard commit. By the way, he's going to pick off another Zella here. Nice micro by Fjant. It's a freebie. Gets out.
Yeah, that Zella overestimating its ability ran out there.
Don't call him Zalts for nothing, Axel.
That's true. That is true.
So yeah, 4th base going down for the Zerg. We're seeing Roaches in production after the Zerg, and we are seeing the Colossus bait is nearly finished, the Robotics bait is nearly finished.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to get any out if this is a Queen drop that's going to hit soon. He's might get scouted.
To buy himself some time, isn't he? I mean, he's seeing the Roaches now. If I'm Drogo, I turn these Oracles around.
Yeah, you think that's a big enough warning?
He's already getting. Well, yeah, you can see they're coming to the side of the map. He sees the Overlords. He sees the Drop-a-Lords. He knows this is some kind of like German taxi style Queen Roach push.
I mean, I think he's looking all right. Yeah, okay. A few cannons is really nice here.
Yeah, no, he's got the read on it. I think as soon as he turned those around and started chasing like the roaches being made, he knew that aggression was coming his way. Yeah, look at the natural, like, he's
the natural is caked up in defense.
Just needs to buy a few seconds just so those cannons finish up. Pretty nice force fields.
Yeah. But the bile chain does not do enough here. Queen's getting into the front line. They target down the Oracle. One Oracle goes down here. No creep spread being, no creep tunes being laid here. But the cannons do finish up. Stalkers have warped in as well. Biles on the static defense. Yeah. A disruptor comes out. Doesn't kill anything.
Oh, it's an interesting choice. I guess he felt like the Colossus wouldn't do enough.
But
he was a disruptor, and that's game. That was a real heavy timing by Fjant, wasn't it? Hit like a train.
It really did. That was I'm impressed by that. I thought that I had that confidence from the last series. I was like, oh, Drogo will be fine here. I wonder, but would it if it was an immortal? I don't think it would have made a bigger impact, right? That disruptor.
I feel like especially having any immortals on the field and no prism was obviously you're less likely to make the prism at the moment because you can be offensive off just pylons.
Yeah.
And not being able to save the immortals, like being able to save the immortals and keep them, back so they don't get like wrapped by Lings and roaches is like really important. And I kind of felt like he had one immortal, and as that went down, it was like, it doesn't matter what happens now. There's literally nothing you can warp in that's going to stave this off.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was the thing.
But yeah, really nice timing by Fjant though. And I feel like obviously Drogo saw it maybe only like 10 seconds after really the roach production started going, but it was just too late.
Yeah, I wonder what would have made the difference there. I mean, maybe it was just a tech choice. Maybe this is like you can't go into the Robo so soon after the Oracle.
It's difficult to say, obviously, at this level, but you felt like he had a good setup to hold it. He had
Yeah.
a Robo, he had a Stargate. You're probably not going to make any Stargate units at this point without a fleet beacon. But he had, he had 3 gates as well, so he had 3 gates worth of production and cannons and batteries. I guess he felt like he was getting a setup to defend it. He just couldn't.
Yeah. Well, this man taking game number 1 in the top right. It is the Yellow Zerg. It is Fjant.
And down 1-0 in the series. Is this the first map he's dropped in tournament? Has he dropped any others?
Oh, great question. I think this is the first map he's dropped, unless there was one in the groups that I don't know about.
Yeah, I would imagine this is the first map he's dropped. But anyway, this is We're in the Red, playing Protoss, PtitDrogo.
Yeah, we'll see how shaken he is by that.
I'd imagine he's been in the spot before.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't expect his quality of play is going to change too much, but what I may expect now is there might be other builds, or maybe that same build reappears in this series, and he still struggles with it because I feel like I'm not sure if that's something you work out on the fly.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta there's a lot of respect, especially at like pro level play, where it's like they do something once and they don't do it again. But sometimes you've got to do it again and over again. You know?
Yeah, no, 100%.
That's how was that Hydra versus Zane in
the one of the recent finals.
Yeah. Proxy Robo PvP. That was ridiculous.
The Proxy Robo math.
It was. It convinced me.
Peak gaming.
Absolute peak gaming.
But yeah, we're looking at this game, and Drogo's Gateway is about to finish up. He has gone for a gas again, so it's the same opening again from Drogo.
He does this thing where he only has 2 workers in it for a while.
Yeah, I think that's right, because he wants to keep 14 on minerals, so he can get the Nexus a bit quicker. And obviously then you get the ratio of minerals to gas stays pretty good for this early game, where you're only going to really want to start getting an Adept immediately, and then you get your second gas, and then eventually saturate and get into the Stargate, which gives you a better balance. Otherwise you can end up with a little bit too much gas a little bit too quickly, and obviously that's really inefficient, because you still want to be focused on minerals at that point of the game. But yeah, similar opening out of Fjant as well.
Yeah, what hasn't changed with the patch is the first few minutes of PvZ. There is not much to talk about because.
Well, the only thing that's changed is there's another minute of nothing to talk about.
There's a longer period of nothing to talk about. As we do see.
Yeah, and it's interesting because variations of the build we just saw in the last series.
Yep.
We saw on the previous patch. So I would say in terms of build variety, not so much, but obviously that build did look a lot more viable in this economy than it did in the previous one. So it wasn't anything new from this patch, but it was definitely something that looked like it had benefited from the patch.
Yeah, I actually wonder why it benefited so much.
Well, you can have a few more units, right?
Yeah.
And obviously most of those units are very, very mineral heavy, and obviously you've got a better mineral to gas ratio in this economy, because obviously gas is harder to come by, because you've got less workers to start with, so your sort of gas production doesn't sort of explode as quick as it would have on a 12 worker start. So yeah, definitely a Roach, Queen, Overlord, drop a Lord heavy army is gonna be pretty good in a mineral heavy patch, where you obviously you get minerals quicker, but you get workers quicker as well. So.
I wonder if there's an argument for Drogo to have turned the warp gates back to gateways and rally units.
I think when you're defending it all in, I think that would always
in
that
theory
would seem
that
optimal on paper, but obviously it makes it very awkward, because especially because I think one of the gateways was in the main.
So you'd have it's all it's not together.
Yeah, that's it. And we know the gateway units are pretty weak on their own.
Getting rallied.
And if they come in dribs and drabs, they look even worse than they already are. So yeah, Oracle about to come out for Drogo. Third hatchery about to finish up for Fjant on his natural, due to the block again in this game. So we've pretty much followed the similar pattern to game 1 so far.
Yeah.
Spores coming up. I guess the Queen's going to be in position initially. I don't think this Oracle will get much done, but we know Drogo's Oracle control is very good. One Adept is going to fall immediately, and again, this makes it much more difficult to take the base. I mean, this time it's going to get denied.
Yeah, it gets both Adept and the...
I think one Adept shaded out. He got an Adept and he got a Probe, and the other Adept shaded out with orange health, I think.
Did it? No.
I heard the noise of the shade finishing up. I don't know where it went. but we definitely got out of there.
Okay,
Yeah.
the Oracle poked in and took some hull damage. Not a great start. You really do want that third base to have started already.
He got disrupted. I mean, obviously it was a slightly different disruption, but he got disrupted in the last game.
Yeah.
Obviously, had to deal with the lings, and maybe because his early game wasn't clean in the last game, it opened the window. He's out of energy again on the Oracles here, and he's going to have to cancel this pylon, or will the Adepts be able to save it? Yeah, the Adepts get in and they save it.
Just about. And Fjant actually realized that he switched it on, took like one shot, and then switched it off again because it was so low on energy anyway.
I don't think there's any potential for him to get that Adept.
No, but again, he's just like being very annoying. Like being active with Lings is so rewarded, like with this kind of thing. And now actually one depth definitely in trouble.
I think the Nexus falls here because the pylon goes, so he can't warp in, and then the Oracles are out of energy. Yeah, it's beginning to look like a bit of a sad game. Yeah, these 2 gateway units are just like sort of sacrificing themselves, or 3 gateway units are sacrificing themselves.
Yeah, it's like the third must not fall, but how many units are going to fall instead? And
we do have a third Oracle about to pop. I don't know if he's got energy to overcharge it, but I don't know why Fjant's backed up here. I don't know if he thinks the beam is on one Oracle still. And then he's got the energy on this Nexus, and I think if the cooldown's on it, he should be
the overcharge. Yeah. So yeah.
He doesn't want to move away from the Nexus because it's on orange health. It's not going to take too much. He's going to get he doesn't get the Adept. The Oracles do catch up. The natural wall is wide open if Fjant ran by. I know he didn't want to gamble on that, but you know he could have got himself in the main.
Yeah, what I find interesting here is that Fjant has actually cut workers. So Fjant is actually now going all in off this. The lair is now only halfway done. Roach and Lings are being produced. He thinks he's done enough damage that he can just go across the map.
I mean, it might be a similar attack to the last game.
It might be, but...
I mean, we're seeing numerous carapace being reset.
I mean, yeah, we are. It is going to be a very
for the casuals at home, that is Overlord speed, which means that the Dropper Lords are going to move at a phenomenal rate if they do show up again.
For the casuals,
for the pure casual. Well, we know a lot of people enjoy watching Starcraft,
no, that's correct,
and they don't play as much, and also the names are pretty wacky.
Oh my god, the one queen already here.
Yeah,
that must have been
he didn't even get a lift. He
just the German walk, you know, we call it now, eh?
Unless we missed the lift. But yeah, he showed back up. Here he is again. Load of roaches, load of lings.
4 oracles now. Got to do a lot of work. 1 queen exposed by herself. Because there's no creep yet, they can't transfuse. Okay, now they're able to transfuse.
Second Immortal shows up. Second Immortal is quite big. I think if we get a battery online here and the oracles can stay up, we might have half a chance. Pro's pulled off the line to tank a little bit.
Oh, but the reinforcing Lings coming in here, trapping the Immortals into a bad fight. The Immortals do survive for such a long time.
Yeah, it's still looking pretty ropey for Drogo. I think he's going to have to give up the third.
Yeah.
But with the current economic state, possibly could give up the third and still be in the game, I'm sure.
Yeah, Fjant is only making units here. All of his supply advantage is in army. They are even on workers, which on 3 bases doesn't mean a lot because he's got 2 base saturation.
He's going to send it still. He's going to go for it. Is he coming up the run?
He definitely thought about it. 5 oracles though. Yeah, that's a lot of oracles.
That fight, so he's going to lose all this army for free.
And this could be the initiation of a big counterattack. The queens are being lifted back home.
Yeah, there was a drop a lot. It did bring the queens over.
Yeah.
It just dropped them far away from the fight for some reason.
Okay, well.
Okay, so interested to see what Drogo does from this spot. Like whether he just feels like I'll macro back up. He must have cut workers.
No, link drop. Only 3 workers going down.
Okay.
So he pulled them very quickly.
But I mean, I'd say that bad, but he's still up a few workers. But obviously, with the lava situation in the current patch and 3 hatcheries online, there's a chance Fjant can just hold on to DK here and get a massive lead if he chooses to.
Yeah.
Spire follow up from Fjant, so maybe he's going to switch out to Muters now, and obviously, Drogo's committed to Colossus at this point. Either that, it could be for Corruptus to counter the Colossus because he's aware of the play in the previous series against Risky.
Maybe. I think Muters are really smart here. There's 6 oracles sharking on the map, right?
Yeah. I mean, they'd just be valued just for that alone.
Exactly. Yeah, you're just like making 8 Muters to kill this and then like be annoying is so good. But we'll have to see. Ling run by looking maybe to be getting set up. You have enough queens in position so they can't dive on this. 6 oracles is a scary amount that can dive onto a mineral line and actually evaporate a spore crawler and then kill all the drones.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's definitely potential in those oracles. He's got a lot of them as well, like you say. He has managed to get his third base like building again. He took it in a slightly different position because there was a tumor on the original position he chose for the third that's fallen. Turn the beams on. He's gonna just try and kill these queens. Really nice micro from Fjant. Really, really nice. He managed to take it down to the last hit point of that queen, transfuse it, and walk it back, and it absolutely saved it. And also, wasted a lot of Oracle energy for nothing for Drogo.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's 25 energy to turn these on individually. So, he just misses the roaches going across the map here. And actually,
he needed to be in position for this. I mean, he's not turning around with the oracles. He's on the wrong side of the map. But he does have an army in position with a couple of colossus and a couple of, I think, one or more. Here come the muters, though.
Where are your oracle anti-air now? 2 stalkers being warped in, but they might get picked off. Yeah.
This is so frustrating if you're the Protoss player, because you've had a Stargate on the field since they opened it. You could have been producing Phoenix. Just a handful of Phoenix here.
Okay. 1 Phoenix comes out. The ground army is getting cleared.
He's losing the oracles though, and he needs to keep them alive to stave off anything else. You can't just leave them under the muters when all the rest of the ground forces are gone.
All the oracles now have gone down.
Yeah, we've just got the 1 Phoenix on the field. Did the initial one fall, did it?
Yeah, the initial one fell.
We've got a battery here, though, to save this one. But we're in trouble now because, obviously, the muters are sort of zoning out the whatever's left to deal with the lings. So, you sort of, like, the lings are going to be a problem now because the muters are there as well. So, it's like a pretty complex situation if we don't have the units to deal with it. And warping in Stalkers isn't great because they don't really trade with the lings. So
I think once you get 4 Phoenixes on the field, I think you can fight the muters much easier.
With good micro, I think he's tapped out. Yeah, it's a rough spot. Like,
yeah,
even if you get the 4, even if you have the 4 Phoenix out, you have to be controlling them perfectly.
Yeah, you have to
got
be constantly microing them.
Yeah, it's really difficult. Difficult spot. You need to know the muters are coming. Like this is a classic one, right? You don't know. Surprise muters are the worst muters.
Yeah.
Or they're the best if you're the one who's got them. But yeah, definitely as the defending player against the mutalist, you just don't want to see 10, 12, 14 mutalist turn up unannounced. But yeah, again, really clean game out of Fjant. Yeah, he's sort of like he's carving himself a little lead out just from when the third base is going down with the boss. He's being annoying, isn't he? He's taxing he's taxing Drogo and knocking him off his stride.
Yeah, and I was talking to someone about this earlier, where it's like this limit of the Protoss being able to go across the map with the Oracle and take a third base at the same time seems like a really like meta exploitable hole at the minute.
Yeah, I feel like it has been for a while at like lower levels. Like I feel like if you're a sensible defensive Protoss, you're gonna keep your Oracle just at home. And if you really need info on the other side of the map, you've got options. You could have a sentry, you could hallucinate, you could shade out with the adepts. I feel like taking the adepts out onto the other side of the map and sort of sneaking around the edge of like Overlord vision and creep is much more reliable to get vision than
the timing where he comes back with the adepts is when the Oracle pops out. It's like the probe does the initial scout and that comes back and tags out with the adepts, and then the adepts come back and tags out with the Oracle.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, 2 adepts is just not enough.
So
to defend.
You need the DPS of the Oracle.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd much prefer to keep the Oracle hovering over the third, and then just have a sneaky shade round with the adepts. I mean, and also it's not really a timing window where that many shenanigans have been going off in these two games we've seen so far.
But it's just
like that initial, that initial minute, like what can he be doing? And all he is doing is building up a little pack of lings to be annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's some other builds and variants of builds that could be tricky, and you might need the end for that point. But so far, we haven't seen it. So maybe play percentages.
I think you have to really calculate the bait about whether you can hold a hold position like an adept in the mineral line and just see if you can stop it from break. Like you let the Nexus take a bunch of damage, knowing that you'll eventually be able to hold it, but sending units out one at a time
or is the answer that you make an extra adept in your production cycles of your gateway?
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, I think he's only making 2 gateway units till the Oracle pops, right?
Yeah. 2 adepts, yeah.
Okay, so
maybe a 3rd unit,
yeah. Or even just build an extra pylon in your main, wait for Warp Tech to finish and warp into, and then defend it with 3, 4 adepts. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's going to delay your Nexus timing considerably, but we're already getting we're already getting harassed and losing minerals anyway through pylons and lost units as well that you're never getting back, and some of those units are costing gas, right?
Yeah, like losing the 2 stalkers in that game. That's where I felt like it really. That's where Fjant seemed to have like the kill switch turned on, right?
Exactly.
Like,
He knew, anyway, that was game 2. This is game 3. We're coming into the series in game 3 with Fjant with a 2-0 lead over Drogo.
yeah. Well, I'd say you love to see it, I guess, if you're a big Zerg fan or if you're a big Fjant fan.
I think even if you're a Protoss fan, I think it's refreshing to see what a younger talent coming through,
That
and
is
also
true, yeah,
giving someone who's been at the very top of Starcraft, someone who's won, a premier tournament.
Yep.
Won DreamHack Leipzig in 2016.
Yeah.
I mean, there aren't many people who've come to EPIC48 who've done that. And,
No,
it's got to be respected. But so getting in this game, it looks like looks like Fjant did the extractor trick. I don't know if he's done that in the previous games, but it looks like similar openings are them again. Drogo's coming to block again.
That is the case. No crazy play here, no forge, no proxy gates, nothing.
Right, so is Drogo sticking to his guns? He's going to go gas next, and
we block.
Same opening each game, let's see.
We block the hatchery, we get the gas,
it's all
very normal.
It's all the same.
And Fjant happily takes the 3rd base again. He doesn't seem too bothered by this. The Zergs have done very well to not let this bother them.
I mean, it's not affecting his ability to win, so it shouldn't.
Yeah, but I do wonder, like, is there, again, it's a hard read. If you're down 2-0, I wouldn't recommend doing it, but like maybe you should just open a forge and then they go and take the 3rd base and you can rush it.
Maybe that's what you do, Exa.
Maybe that's what I would do. Yeah, you're damn right. Like they don't get to just take this for free and not have an overlord there. Like that to me is you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, it's a little bit risky. Obviously, he's not quite across the map with the initial overlord, so he couldn't know if the
exactly. Yeah. And even now, if you come and saw the wall and you saw it was like a forge first, like what do? Do you cancel this immediately, or do you try and pull drones? Like
it's too far, I think, for the drones. I don't think you can ever save it.
And you'd only need 1 cannon to finish up, I think.
Yeah, exactly. If the SimCity was good for the
so it's like
you would be in trouble. But I feel like it's not really Drogo's style, is it?
No, Drogo's playing very sensibly, very trying to play very solid. Just get to the mid game. Seems to be his.
In the nicest possible way. It looks like Drogo's playing like ladder builds in the tournament, isn't it? It looks like he's playing the most consistent method of winning when I'm the better player, and I believe I'm the better player. What's the right way to play Starcraft? This is how I do it. And obviously, sometimes in a series you need to mix it up a little bit, and that's exactly what Fjant's done in those games. He's hit with aggression. He hasn't been sitting there playing an open-ended game of Starcraft. He's been waiting to say, right, listen, I've knocked you off balance a little bit. Now I'm going to hit with a big time, and I know you won't be able to hold.
That is it. And once again, see, we have this probe going back, and right as it gets to the halfway point in the map, bam, the Adept takes over.
Yeah. This is important because obviously you can get blindsided by lings coming across it. It's the period where the Oracle pops.
Yes.
And then you can go across the map with it. The period between that and the next minute or so, I don't know, in my experience I haven't found many situations where I've missed information. And like I say, you can still gather information with Adepts, because I feel like it's much safer to move the Adepts forward to the other side of the map than it is to take the Oracles across.
Yeah, the Oracles are so important.
Yeah, because the Oracles just mince through the lings, you know what I mean? Like, there's no chance you're going to lose a Nexus if you've got, a high energy Oracle, even if it's 16 lings,
Yeah, you're going to shave so many of them off.
Yeah, the DPS
most Zerg players really do understand it, and as soon as you switch the beam on, they run. It's a tax. It's like an energy tax.
Exactly, yeah.
But it's an energy tax with a real punishment behind if you don't respect it.
Yeah. And, you're sort of, you're forsaking that safety net by sending it to the other side of the map, and obviously, air units are much better at gathering information than go anywhere, and he's got harass potential himself, but how many drones do you really get, with the current Spore Crawler, or if there's Queens in position? Not many, really.
He has been diving in and getting 1 or 2, more than I expect. Like right here, 2 Queens, I would not have gone in for 2 drones there, but he does it.
But yeah, it's red health on the Oracle again. Yeah. I don't like it. What if there's a follow-up all in 2 minutes? And all of a sudden,
wow, you mean the other 2 games?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? This Oracle is pretty much gone. In terms of a fight, if there's a head-on fight and it has to fight Queens again, it can't.
Okay, so now we have, again, we have more units.
So this is bad. This is much better. So that's what we said, wasn't it? That you go for an extra gateway unit pre-warp tech and sort of be able to stave off this little group of lings much more easily.
Yeah, pylon, the extra pylon does have to go
this
down.
has delayed the Nexus by like 20 seconds, but I feel like it's much more solid for Drogo, much more solid position. Like 4 adapts, how's he gonna? He's not gonna punch through that too. And also the benefit of this is now he can pretty much safely take the oracles to the other side of the map. He doesn't need to worry about it.
Yeah, because 4 adapts here is
Yeah, whereas the adapts now are a safety net. Whereas 1 or 2 adapts laughable, 4 adapts is like, oh, we're pretty much every shot's getting rid of a Ling at least.
We do have 48 workers, 53 workers now popped, but he's able to pick a few of those off. Again, excellent control on pulling away the low health Oracle.
Really good control, and he gets 3 drones there for his troubles, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, he got 2 earlier, 3 now. So yeah, and he's he's a few workers behind himself, but obviously he'd be another 5 workers behind without that damage.
Yep.
So
I think he got some in the early game. Yeah, so 5 total, not too bad at all.
I guess at this real sharp end where the Zerg macro is so tight, I guess Drogo just feels he has to be trimming these drones off, otherwise it'll snowball crazy out of control.
Yeah. Feels like Drogo's not a player who's saying, "Oh, I can't do this with the oracles." He's like, "No, they can get damage done."
Exactly. Yeah. They've got that potential, and I'm good enough to realize that potential.
Yeah. A lot of Lings here. This is again, Fjant has stopped worker production, and yet making overlords again. So he's just gonna do it again.
And Drogo's at the 3rd base, and he's just trying to get a few more. He got 5 more drones this time. Now, this is interesting because this game's totally different than the 2. Even though it's exactly the same in terms of build order, Drogo's took out like 10 workers pre this all-in hit. That's surely going to weaken the all-in.
Yeah, you would expect that. I think he's thrown away so many Lings as well.
He has, which is strange if you're going to be all-in. Like, you're going to want them as a meat shield. That was a clutch battery timer, by the way. If that battery had not finished up, we would have lost near enough every probe on this Nexus. Yeah. So here comes the attack anyway. The Overlords have their passengers, and they're about to unload. The Immortal is out. Drogo is very aware of this, obviously. It's happened in the previous 2 games. He's a veteran of Starcraft. I think he knew this was coming. Yeah, Colossus on its way as well. But again, we just don't have very much army supply for Drogo.
Oh, and the pylons in the main might end up going down.
I don't think this Colossus is ever going to see the light of day. But he is whole position in the oracles around the pylons, so he can sort of protect it that way. Yeah. But the Immortal's exposed, and that's down now because his attention was over in the natural rather than the 3rd. We've got cannons finishing up. We've got a couple of batteries. The Colossus is going to get out this time, I think, and it is out already, but it's fighting roaches at close quarters, not really where it wants to be.
The buff is coming in, though. It takes 2 less swipes to kill.
Die on the right side of the fight. Again, it's looking really, really rough.
It is looking very tough out here for PtitDrogo to make anything happen. He's getting a second Colossus on the way.
There goes the Colossus.
Queen's using that anti-air range to hit the Colossus. And that is going to be a GG. Another 3-0 sweep.
Oh, that was really impressive by Fjant.
Yeah, like on a technical display of like just making it happen.
Yeah,
exactly, he did fantastically.
Well, and also the understanding of what's viable currently in this patch of Starcraft, and what's strong.
I have the German taxi apparently.
Yeah, exactly. No, very, very strong, very, very difficult to hold, and just Drogo didn't really have an answer for it.
All right, well, we're going to invite Fjant over for a winner's interview, have a quick chat with him.
Yeah, maybe you can explain his thought process and, whether that was always the plan or whether after game 1 he just felt like, this guy isn't solid and I'm going to rock him.
Game 1 felt like it was a plan. Game 2 felt like more of a reaction.
It did feel like
because he just he kind of snowballed off of it.
It was like, you're behind already, and this is going to hurt because this is hard to hold when you're level.
But game 3 is like the triathlon. Like if you were like demonstrating a build to somebody, be like, okay, this is how it goes in a standard game. Okay, this is how it goes when you're ahead, and then also, well, actually, even if you don't have a good game, this is how it can go, even when you didn't have a super good early game. Yeah, we're ready for the interview. Yeah.
Cool.
Do you want to interview him, or shall I?
You go for it.
All right, and then you get out.
Okay, I'm going. Yeah. I'm going. In comes Fjant, the main man.
Fjant, my man.
My man.
Excellent stuff. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. I mean, I watched the VOD of Risky versus Drogo, and I said he dies to this every time.
And well, you were right. 3 out of 3.
3 out of 3.
Is this because the third base tries to go up as the Oracle is going out, and you can get in with Lings there?
No,
It's not that?
it's more about his game plan.
Like the
he
Robo?
he takes too much, so he doesn't
Yeah.
have a lot of units.
Okay, yeah.
That is generally it. If you don't know it's coming, it's really difficult to play into. But
Yep.
if you just have it in your mind that it's coming, it's fairly easy to play against if you know how to.
But I think in the first game he actually scouted it as the roaches popped out and as the first the Dropper Lords finished, he saw it. Do you think that was too late for him to see it then?
I mean, it actually depends because
Okay.
I haven't checked the replay. It depends on how much production he has. Because
Okay. Yeah.
if he's sitting on 2 gates and 1 robo, it's not enough, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if he has like 5 gates, then
Okay.
maybe he can do something. But I think my early game was just insanely strong every single game in this series.
Even in the third game it wasn't as clean, right? He got like 5 workers with the first oracles and depths.
Did he? I mean, he got the oracles came in, but it was way later, right? It was when I was like 50 workers.
The first oracle came in at like the 4-minute mark.
Yeah,
he
got 2
there.
workers.
Yeah.
You can't really deny them from having 2 workers.
Okay. So that's like an acceptable loss.
Yeah,
okay,
it's an
okay.
acceptable loss. It even was last patch and it is this patch as well.
Last patch.
The oracle comes in, it pretty much will get 2 workers if
Okay.
you don't have
You
perfect queen position.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you just accept that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you really think like him going like his build going for a robo after the third oracle or around that sort of time is just like it's killing him.
I mean,
against this
when
when
you're
you're like
playing,
meta gaming him a little bit here.
well, yeah, of course.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no, not,
Of course,
not
I'm gonna
criticism.
be. Of course, I'm gonna be playing into him, right?
Yeah. No, you should.
But yeah, I think the combination of my early game being really strong,
Yeah.
his early game being bad, and it's a build order like
Yeah.
it's a good build order for me, makes it like almost impossible to win.
Well, you certainly demonstrate that really well. I think it's gonna be another.
Yeah.
Now you get a very luxurious position here because
Yeah, I get to wait for 3 hours.
Well, you have to wait for a little while.
Yeah.
But also, like, if Risky now, we're gonna broadcast the other games. If Risky now does this build to him and he adapts, you get to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I get to see how Drogo and Risky play it out if they make it.
Yeah,
one
assuming
another.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can beat the winner 3-0.
Yes, I mean it's a best of 7 in the final.
Don't I
Like,
get a
you get a map head
yeah,
start,
yeah.
so yeah, you only have to win 3 maps. Yeah.
That sounds great.
That sounds great. You
That
like
sounds
that?
great.
You
Yeah.
don't mind waiting around a few hours for that then?
I can wait a year to play this finals. It doesn't matter.
Damn, he is confident, and you're gonna take it all, yeah?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Risky or Drogo?
I don't want to play ZVZ.
I was about to say, what about
I would rather
what-
play this again.
what about if we do a tag in and it's Lorimbo in the finals? You know?
I would be extremely surprised. But at that, I'm very confident too as well.
Yeah, look, I heard you had an exciting game versus Lorimbo earlier.
It was bad for me for sure.
I heard that he claims that he should have won the set from he messed up in game 4. I don't want to actually fry you too much on this.
He did mess up, but we looked at it and he was not even close
Okay,
to the
okay.
position that he was. That he
That he
thought
thought
he was.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, that's fair, that's fair. Alrighty, well, I think that's about it. Do you have anything else you want to say to the people of Epic Land?
The people of Epic Land,
Yeah, people
No.
watching, you know, the UK community.
the UK community. I mean, thanks for hosting the tournament. It's always
Thanks for the free money.
Windmill Man. Shout out Windmill
Yeah,
Man.
let's shout out to
out-
Windmill Man.
Shout out
Alonso,
Windmill Man.
my boy,
My boy.
doubling the prize pool. What a guy.
Did he actually like give the money and sign up so it's like double, or did he only?
Yeah, well, he signed up because he was playing.
Yeah. So the
And-
prize pool got increased because he was.
Yeah,
playing,
because
right?
they hit 24 players, yes, and then he doubled it. Yeah, which
See,
is,
he's insane.
isn't that? So yeah, if he didn't show up, like the actual difference is huge. Yeah.
yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
But yeah, absolutely goated, my man.
Mama.
We like to, yeah, no, glad you're having a good time. Oh, I hope you're having a good time
I
in
am.
England.
I am right
Winning
now-
is so
right
good.
now, I'm in the sky, you know.
You're in the sky.
Cloud 9.
Absolutely. All right. Well, don't get too confident. You haven't won it just yet.
One
We're
more to go.
We're going to have to see that in the grand finals. We will be back very shortly. We'll be doing some of the lower bracket games. and following it through until we get to the grand finals. Fjant, go get some rest, get your brain prepared.
Get my brain prepared.
And we will see you in a little while, all right?